Hello and welcome to the Penno channel. The Premier League is back. We're back here on a late night one, providing a match preview for Aston Villa versus West Ham at the London Stadium. Bro, the Prem's back. I'm sure. Just been watching the United Fulham game. Gave you a little wet the whistle, little taster. Wasn't the best of games, but yeah, we're back tomorrow. London Stadium, 5:30. How you feeling?
It's good to be back, bro. I'm looking forward to this game, man. It's on television, 5:30, as you said. West Ham, a place we don't normally win, which I think
Nah.
is making people a little bit uneasy. But come on, man, let's break a record tomorrow and let's start the season off with 3 points.
Yeah, so I think it's a big game for both clubs. It's an optimistic game for both clubs as there'll be a lot of new players on show. Obviously, West Ham, they've got a new manager in Julian Lopetegui. Now, we know Lopetegui from the Premier League for his time at Wolves, albeit it was quite a short stint. But he's been given a number of players to help him improve West Ham and their form that they had under David Moyes, which may be a tricky task, but they've made a number of signings, which we'll get into. But yeah, our travels usually going to London Stadium have not been great. Last season, we managed to get a point through a Nicola Zaniolo goal. Two players who are not currently with us, Diaby and Zaniolo, helped create and score that goal. So we played well that second half, but the first half we weren't great. So yeah, we're just looking to get off to a good start, hopefully. Obviously, we all remember last year. We all remember Sir Alex Old Trafford saying we were the team that played the best football of the weekend, but we ended up getting battered 5-1. A lot of circumstances within that, with Tyrone getting injured within that game. So you never know. First game of the season, all things are in the air. Every fan base has optimism, and Village fans should be as well. So yeah, bro, how you feeling for it?
Yeah, it's two teams that have probably had some of the biggest turnover in terms of like player incomings as well. As you said, West Ham got a new manager. There's a freshness to West Ham that their fans are excited for, and we've got to be wary of that. They've made some good signings in Summerville. I like the which other signing do I like? I like the Todibo and Kilman signings. I think those are really good defensive signings. Their other work I'm not too crazy about, but it's solid. It's solid for West Ham.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
they
they
could have
brought on.
maybe they could have had our striker like coming to face us. I'm a lot more comfortable with that the fact that Durant didn't go there. I think I'd have a completely different feeling about the game, knowing that you just know that he'd score. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a tough game, and I think set pieces especially we can be a little bit vulnerable. But on the flip side, we can hurt them as well. This is a defense that wouldn't have played together yet. So there's going to be a balancing act with them. Whereas some of our players, maybe if Maatsen starts or not, but if not, we could put out a back four that know each other and that have played with each other. So yeah, man, I'm excited for the game, but I can't predict a result. I really don't know. It depends on the day what Villa show up, and I think that's going to be a case of a lot of games next season. It's dependent on us. Looking forward to it though, man.
Yeah, let's have a look into West Ham and yeah, the summer activity then and what they've done so far before we move on to ourselves and how we think we'll set up against them and how we can look to win the game. So West Ham brought in a number of players over the summer, as you stated, Todibo and Max Kilman, and also you've got Crescenzo, Summerville, you've got Guido Rodriguez, you've got Fullkrug, you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, they've brought in a number of quality signings. So it's going to be interesting to see how they line up, how much they change from what they had initially, how many players come in. I think Max Kilman will come in. Todibo or Mavropanos, I'm not too sure. Potentially Todibo will come in as well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, is he ready to just jump in for him? Potentially. Edison Alvarez isn't available, so does Guido Rodriguez come into the side? Will Antonio start up front, or will it be Fullkrug as well? And I think, Kudus, I don't think some of them will be starting. I think it'll be Kudus and Bowen and Paqueta just behind them. But there's a lot of good players there, for sure. And it's just about, they'll be in a similar position to us. It's how they gel and how they blend in and how their style of play, because they'll be looking to play a new style of play, because the whole David Moyes things over the past few seasons, for West Ham fans, I did hear him at certain aspects. Obviously, he brought them a European trophy, the Conference League, something we couldn't do. So that was big for them as a fan base. But there would be a number of games where you saw the attacking talent West Ham and you think he's kind of restraining them. He's kind of holding them back as such. Whether Lopetegui is the manager to provide that and kind of release the shackles with West Ham, we'll see. But yeah, they've got a number of players that can hurt you. One of those being Jared Bowen for sure, who had a great season last season, found himself in the Euro sides, and it'll be a tough task for whoever is playing at left back. I think it will be Luca Digne, but we'll go into that later. Of occupying Jared Bowen and especially him and Mohamed Kudus on the flanks as well, if it is Matikash or Costa Nedeljkovic, and even just someone picking up Paqueta in the space as well. Those three are the danger men. But yeah, we saw at the home game last season at Villa Park, we beat them 4-1. We were great that day. We really put in a performance and they didn't really create too much within that game. So we'll be looking to stamp our authority within the game. We know how we play. We know how we set up. But it will be interesting to see who are the actual people that start within the game. Yeah, West Ham, bro, how are you feeling they'll set up and where will they be looking to hurt us?
I just want to say there's one signing that you forgot to say. League One? Where's? We're not talking about Where's Fodingham? Bro, when I seen that, when I seen that, I can never not think of that Di Canio interview, man. I can't see West Fodingham and not think about that Di Canio interview. But little personal joke. But I think West Ham are gonna want to play high up the pitch. I think a big criticism of David Moyes' ball is they sat too deep and they didn't attack enough. So I think their fans will be anticipating their team to keep the ball better, play higher up, and attack and create more chances. And we've got to be wary of that. In terms of how they hurt us, I think diagonals. I think because we play so compact in our 4-4-2, and whenever the ball stays on one side, we try and condense that space and we push the whole block over there. So if they can get an opening, that diagonal's on every single time. And if they do start Summerville, if they do start Kudus, I think that's where we have to be extra sharp and extra intelligent defensively. So I think our fullbacks are going to have a big ass, man. Big ass for our fullbacks. I think we're quite good at blocking the space centrally. I think we are quite good at staying compact, but it's just the wide areas I'd probably worry about, and just monitoring the movement of Fullkrug, because he does like to drop deep. He's not just a target man. He can drop deep and he can link up play. So Konza or Pau, whoever's marking him, it's going to have to be super concentrated. And let's just hope another player that could be suspended by betting allegations doesn't have another great game against us, man. Like, obviously, we sick of Tonali last year, bro. It's like,
especially last year as well, that first game, it was the new signing announced themselves within the first few minutes. We're hoping that it's one of the Villa new signings that do that and not one of the West Ham ones tomorrow. But yeah, you make some valid points. I mean, Fullkrug or Antonio, I'm not even sure Fullkrug will start either. Potentially Antonio will start as well. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how many new additions do come in. He might try and gel them in slowly, so a number of them might not even start. But yeah, it's a new style of play. It's a new system. But they could potentially have that new manager bounce. We felt it when Unai came in against Manchester United. We played really well. We won 3-1. So he'll be looking to impress the home fans in his first game in charge. That will be something we'll have to be wary of. The three danger men then for you for West Ham, or the three players to be looking out for?
Bowen, Paqueta. And it's a weird one. That Guido Rodriguez, I think he's going to start in midfield. And if he has a good game, if he can control the tempo for them, and if he can get the ball pass forward, receiving the build-up, he's going to be a problem if he has a good game. So we need to restrict him, because he's not a player, but he's a guy that he likes to get on the ball. He can pass the ball. So restricting him will be important, because obviously Edson Alvarez is out. A lot of West Ham fans aren't sure if Souček will start with Ward-Prowse. They think it will be Guido Rodriguez and Ward-Prowse in the midfield pivot. So yeah, those three I'd say we need to watch out for.
Yeah, there's some good names. Hopefully we can catch this defence out. If they do throw in 2 or 3 of the new signings, we'll be looking to hopefully take advantage of that. And a big reason potentially will be the availability of Ollie Watkins, and if he does start for us. Moving on to us, bro. Big game. Pre-season's pre-season now. That's all put to bed. It's now the big time. It's now the start of the league season. What are you looking for from Villa? How can we, cause damage and potentially threaten West Ham? What key areas do you expect us to look at?
Yeah, I really want to see from Villa some more final third control, more play in the final third where we keep the ball higher, where we're not just passing it around, recycling the ball, but we're actively like breaking the lines, linking up play, and getting shots off closer to goal. I think that's what I really want to see. Also defensively as well, can we restrict West Ham to less chances and less quality chances as well? I really want to see us improve from set pieces. I think Onana defensively attacking the space when we do defend will be important. Um, our build-up play, I really want to see a good build-up play as well. I don't want to see us just playing wide and then coming back and then we're not really sure where to pass to if, say, Tillemans is getting blocked off in the middle. I want to see just some nice quick football, final third play, and for us to create chances. Creating chances is important. Let's give Watkins the service that he was getting at the start of last season as well. We scored 26 goals in our first 10 games last season. Can we continue that off? Because being honest, we can all admit, Villa fans, 2024, we haven't really performed the best in the league. So can we just get out of that rut, not continue the form of last season and go to West Ham and get 3 points and put in a statement performance?
Yeah, you made some great points there, bro. Especially regarding just imposing ourselves and going actually playing and creating. That's one thing we struggled within the preseason. Okay, there's a lot of chopping and changing, but even towards the end of last season as well, the chance creation numbers dropped. They dropped quite significantly. Now, losing one of our main creators, how do we accommodate for that? Who comes in and states their case, and who's the player who plays with the ball with confidence, wants to get on the ball, and wants to create? We have a number of players who have the capability to do that. It's just who's going to stand up and be the one to get on the ball and play and create chances for our attacking threats, because we have a number of attacking threats. You have Leon Bailey, you have Jacob Ramsey, you have Morgan Rogers. One of those, I think you'd be looking for Bailey and Ramsey to be looking to get into behind or getting the ball short to feet and move. But who will be the creator? Now, for me, it will be Onana and Tillerman starting in the middle of the park. And then potentially Rogers could be playing off Watkins, or JJ might not start and Rogers will play on the left and maybe McGinn will play that role, or Bailey. But someone needs to really stand up and start dictating the play for us in the middle of the park and have the control that Emery always asks for. That's one of the big things he requests. It's control of the game. And if we can do that, we've seen when we didn't have Dougie against Arsenal, that second half we controlled that game. And Tillemans was the linchpin of that. He was the big reason we did, because he was unbelievable that second half in just how he kept the ball. He was like a metronome. The ball kept it ticking, kept it moving. Can he play to that level on a consistent basis now? And I think Tillemans' performance is one of the key factors for us tomorrow. If he's on it and he's dictating the play like I know he can do, then we can create a lot through that, especially with his forward passing. There could be great opportunities to catch him on the transition, and we have some very, very good transitional players in Morgan Rogers, Jacob Ramsey, and Leon Bailey. We've seen how they can drive the ball when they get it in space, especially Ramsey and Morgan Rogers as well. Leon Bailey's close touch; he's not as much of a drive, but if you get Jacob Ramsey, Morgan Rogers, and even John McGinn as well driving, we can really transition on those, and it would just be feeding Ollie Watkins if he is the player to start.
Yeah, I think game plan wise as well, I think the goal will be to attack Kilman more than Todibo. Todibo is a defensive monster. His jewels, he's getting back to goal, his pace, his recovery pace. Kilman's more the guy where he's good on the ball, but he's loose and he can be suspect of individual mistakes. So if we can get Watkins targeting Kilman, maybe improve that link-up play on the right-hand side with Bailey, Onana getting forward, Tillemans linking up as well. Maybe even Rogers drifting over, or whoever starts, and really just attack that side with Kilman rather than Todibo, where they'll be stronger.
Yeah, so that would be interesting to see how we do line up, because if we identify Kilman as a weakness, and if Watkins is fit, we'll be looking to play off Kilman and get Watkins to occupy Kilman. I know Todibo does have these statistically. He's a monster in League One, but he's the Premier League. It could be a different animal for him. It might take him time to adjust.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, so it might take him time to adjust as well. He might not be used to the pace. We all saw what happened to Paz Torres when he was just thrown into the deep end against Newcastle. It took him a few games to to just acclimatise to the pace of the game. So we could catch him cold in that sense. If Wan-Bissaka is playing, we all know Wan-Bissaka is good in one-on-one duels in tackling, but he has lapses of concentration. He can be caught out of position. So that is another thing we can use to our advantage. And if it was, say, Jacob Ramsey playing off that left side, getting Jacob in behind, we've noticed in a few games this season, in the pre-season, he's been getting in behind a lot more. The Walsall game, you saw the goal. Not the Walsall game, sorry. What was the game? The Bilbao game. You saw him getting behind, making that third man run, and scoring from that. So we could look to use Jacob in that position if he's starting off that left hand side more, and actually use him as a transitional kind of left midfielder, left winger, and getting in behind and attacking the space, because you can do that with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And same with Emerson. Emerson is good. He's good going forward, but when you turn him, he's not the best. So those are the two areas we can identify and play through. Again, I think it'll be difficult to play through them as well. I think we'll be quite similar and quite tight in the middle of the pitch. It might be difficult to play through them with our box. So working in transitions, control, but also working in transitions and getting in behind them out wide could really work for us. So yeah, bro, we'll move on. What do you think the starting lineup will be then? Obviously, Watkins hasn't played no minutes. With the news we'll go on to later and what's happened today, John Duran should be part of the squad you'd expect. Does Morgan Rogers start? Does Jacob Ramsey start? Because one of them will potentially have to go out of McGinn, Ramsey, Bailey, Rogers. I think the midfield two picks itself. So yeah, how are you thinking? And Matty Cash as well, the right back and the left back situations.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think fullbacks are a big concern for tomorrow, man. I just think both defensively and just going forward as well, it's just they're limited a bit. So I think there's going to be a heavy load from the attackers to create. Because I'm not sure. I personally have the feeling he's going to start Dean and Cash. But I just think, like, you go out a transfer window and it's a new season and it just feels, I don't know, it just feels a bit merry them too, especially going forward and defending 1v1. So personally, I'd like to see Maatsen and Nedaljevic start, but I know that's not going to happen. So I think we could maybe get Costa starting I'm still unsure about that. I think we could get Costa starting on the right, but I think Luca Dean will start on the left. I think Emery just still trusts him more for now.
Yeah, I agree. I tend to agree with that. They just trust him. I don't think Costa will start. I think Matty Cash will come back in, even though he wasn't part of the side in Dortmund. And I think Ollie Watkins starts as well. So
yeah, 100% Ollie starts.
Yeah,
He's
I think
trained.
he comes.
Said a whole week of training, like he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. So I think my starting 11 will be, well, what I think Emery will go with is Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Powell, Digne. This is a tricky one now. Who plays off Watkins? Who plays in that 10 role? We saw McGinn do it. We've seen Morgan Rogers do it. I think McGinn does start. I do think he won't play Bailey. I just have a feeling he won't play Bailey. I think he'll play McGinn off the right, Ramsey off the left, and then Onana and Tillemans in the middle, and then Rogers just off Watkins. I have a feeling that's how Unai might set up. I don't know what your thoughts are in that regard.
Yeah, I kind of think it's really hard to decide which 4 out of the 5 options play in the front 4. Like, I've been thinking about it all day, and I don't think I'm sure where he's going to go. I think he likes Ramsey on the left for the defensive security of the ball. Ramsey likes to track back. He'll get stuck in. He can carry the ball as well, which is needed. Rogers, I don't think is a centre forward, which makes it a bit awkward because they're both good off the left, Ramsey and Rogers. That's their best position. I think Rogers up front is kind of being forced a little bit. I don't think he's as comfortable when off the left. However, I do think Emery's going to continue with that until we do sign a second striker replacement. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you, man. I've been thinking about it more. Personally, I'd drop McGinn. I don't think McGinn really needs to be starting. I'd go with Ramsey, Rogers, Watkins, Bailey. But I know that's quite attacking, but I still think defensively, when you have Ramsey off the ball as well, you do have that security. But I know Emery's not going to drop McGinn or not start McGinn. So, yeah, man, I think Bailey might get dropped. I think it's between Rogers or Bailey for that start. I think Ramsey's going to start, man. Genuinely, I do. We even had quotes from Munchie today just saying how much Emery loves Ramsey. I don't know. He probably loves all of his players, but there's a categoric no sale to Tottenham Hotspur this window. Like they did not want to sell Ramsey at all.
Yeah, we're going to get onto those quotes, but yeah. So you're of the idea as well, the same team, do you reckon?
Yeah,
You just can't pick it.
I don't think if I was to bet, I'd say Bailey doesn't start and he bets for an impact sub similar to Arsenal away last season.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the comments. Let us know your thoughts in the comments as well of what lineup you think Emery will go for, because it is tough in those front four positions. Who misses out of the players that have played so far within pre-season, and obviously I think Ollie will come back straight back in, or do you think Ollie won't start and then do all the other four play? Does Bailey play off the right, McGinn behind Rodgers again, and Ramsey off the left? Deontay's joined. Thanks for joining. Deontay says, "Hey, Penno and Adam." Flange 0027 joins. She goes, "Evening, fellas. Thanks for joining." Michael's joined. He goes, "Good evening, gents. Thanks for joining, Michael." Davies joined. He said, "West Ham haven't had much time to gel. All these players, as well as learning the new system to play after years of Moyes. We could actually catch them cold and claim all 3 points. That's a big fact. Potentially, that could be the case. They might not be used to the system play." Flange also says, "I fancy you." I think she's talking about you, bro, so watch out. Deontay says, Lopetegui has a decent record against Emery, 3 wins compared to 1 win for Emery and 3 draws between them. Yeah, so that could be a big factor as well. Emery will really be looking to try and get one over him because Lopetegui kind of has his number within La Liga and the Premier League.
I fancy us. You joker.
Davey says, "I'd imagine we'll start Digne for the game, but could introduce Nedeljkovic to catch them by. Surprised with his pace on the right, linked up well with Bailey pre-season." Deontay says, "Hey, Michael." And they respond to each other. David also said, "Sad to see Archer go to Saints. Hope Durrani's going to be less of a problem for us and more of a problem for the Ops defenders this season." Yeah, we'll get on to Cameron Archer and what's happened there. He's gone on a permanent to Southampton for 15 million. But yeah, we'll discuss that because that's just materialised out of like a day. Literally, the news broke and within a day he's gone. And what could that significantly mean for Villa? Marcus says, we'll go to David. With Ramsey returning, Rodgers going by the game, I'd expect those two to make up the goals we've sold in Dougie and Diaby. Yeah, how do you feel about that? So obviously we've lost a number of GA with Dougie and Diaby. How do you feel about that? And do you think we have the players capable to make that up?
I think we need one more in. I think we need a marquee attacker to come in, personally. I think it's asking a lot. I think Rodgers, while he did get some nice goals and assists last season, the underlying was kind of hinting that maybe he won't maintain or have crazy numbers. And Ramsey as well, whilst he has been a goal scorer, he's more of a player that's beyond the goals and assists, if that makes sense. Like, it's good to get them, but he's more of a complete player. So yeah, I think we need another marquee attacker. What about you?
Yeah, I think we need one more. We definitely need a second striker, I feel like. Who that is, I don't know. Now with Cameron Archer leaving, there could potentially be movement for that. And we've seen the links, you see the links, but nothing's really materialised yet. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Marcus says, "My only concern at the moment is the fitness of our players and expect to see all subs used tomorrow." Facts. Richio's joined 65, says, "Ignore, thanks." And Michael says, "I fancy us too." I think I fancy us to get something at least. I don't know about the victory, and we'll get onto that. But bro, yeah, how are your feelings? Just, do you think we will win?
Just a question answered. John Townley tweet: Ollie Watkins and John Duran will both be in Aston Villa's squad to face West Ham. So Duran makes it, man. Yeah, Duran makes it. I was a bit worried still, that we'd open a team sheet and he just wouldn't be there. I don't know why I had it in the back of my head a little bit. But he's put us back on his Instagram. The Villa pics are back there. We're loved again. Let's see how long this lasts, bro.
Bro, I think all Villa fans now just don't fall for it. Like, if you're that way inclined to watch social stuff, yeah, just don't get triggered. Just let him be. Just let him be, because that's how he runs. That's his MO, man. So just let him do him. If he's gonna drop them or whatever. Just don't get caught up with it. But yeah, if he's in the squad, does he score?
I just think the world wants to see John Duran score a winner tomorrow. Like that West Ham Instagram story went viral. Like a lot of neutrals saw that, and I'm sure Sky are gonna build towards it as well. If they see him in the squad. So yeah, man. John Duran winner. Just imagine. I think then everything's just at ease again, and we can move. Like,
Yeah, that would be mad. Just a last minute winner or something like that.
he'd go
And then
crazy.
just it'd go absolutely mad. That would be nuts.
Because some West Ham fans were enjoying it as well. I do remember like when they were linked, they were just like, "He's a proper ironies, man. You don't understand. We love the crazy strikers and that." So they were loving it. So for him to score against them tomorrow would just be funny.
Yeah. Rod joined. He said, "Thanks for joining, Rod." He goes, "Let Duran cook. Bloke always gave us his best on the pitch. Happy he's sticking around." I think me and you share the same sentiment, don't we, regarding Duran and sticking
I'm
around.
happy he stayed. I know he disrespected the club, and I still think he should apologise publicly. But man, when you talk about talent level, I'm sorry, I do think he is above Akam Archer in that respect. And if I was to sell one of them, I think I'd play it the way we've played it.
Yeah, facts. And yeah, bro, if he gets the winner tomorrow, it's gonna be insane. That is just gonna, yeah. Come on, Duran, just come on. Hopefully he gets some minutes, man. Hopefully it's not a position where we need a goal. But if it is the case, if he just comes on and gets a winner, that would be mad. That would be mad indeed. So yeah, are we gonna do predictions on that? I think every time I did a prediction last year, we lost. So yeah, go on.
2-2.
We'll carry on.
I'm
Gonna go
going 2-2. Yeah, I think we take the lead. I think they make it 2-1, and then I think we equalise.
Yeah, I think it'll be 1-1 again, as the same as last year. That's my feeling towards it. I think they'll take the lead and we'll equalise again, and come away with a point. Michael says he's young and arrogant and our player. Facts. For now, he's our player and potentially for the rest of the season. So all we can do is support him. Deontay's gone in early with a prediction. He's gone 2-1 West Ham. Deontay does a score predictor. I think yesterday I was feeling us losing, but I've got a bit more positivity. I think in that score predictor I've gone for a 2-1 loss. So maybe the confidence is rising because I'm feeling more of a 1-1 now. And maybe tomorrow I'll be thinking, yeah, we're going to smash him. So we can all change.
A fresh quote on Emery, from Emery on Watkins. I don't know if this is mind games or not. I really hope it is, but Watkins is in the squad, but I don't know exactly if he's going to play from the beginning or if he's going to play some minutes. I will meet him, and after my talk with him, I will decide if he's going to play. Is that mind games?
I think that came out earlier, didn't it? I saw that quote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I read that earlier. Is it mind games? I don't know. Does Emery really play mind games like that? I think it might be a last minute call potentially. I don't know.
Well, I know that he picks his team. I know that he picks his team as close to the game as possible, so he won't have already picked his team. Unlike Dean Smith, that used to pick his team for a Saturday game on Wednesday, like just have them train. Emery's a bit different; he picks it on the day. So
yeah, exactly. And the reason for Ollie being omitted from the squad on the weekend, just gone for pre-season, we've not really had clarification in that regard. Potentially it was a knock, so we don't know if he's 100%. But he'll definitely be part of the squad, and hopefully he's fit and available and ready to go. But if not, he'll come on. But yeah, that is. I think Marcus said as well, and we'll go back to predictions. But I don't think it's mind games. Yeah, I tend to agree. I kind of think he's still unsure himself whether he will. But they'll have planned for both scenarios if he's to start or if he isn't, for sure. Rod said he's going for a 0-0. Michael said he's going for a 1-1. So yeah, majority draws. Deontay, the positivity with a 2-1 win. But yeah, bro, do you want to move on to just chat about the final few things that have happened today and Cameron Archer?
Yeah, so it broke last night that Cameron Archer was going to go on a permanent to Southampton. There'd been links before earlier that day that he was going to be a loan move abroad, but yeah, Southampton stepped in and they've paid 15 million plus add-ons for Cameron Archer. At first, I thought the 15 million was quite low, but when I heard about add-ons, I thought, okay, that makes more sense. So yeah, I do think it's the right move selling him. We get some income to splash on other areas, or maybe even splash on our second striker. And Cam Archer is probably going to be a starter at Southampton. There's no buyback clause being reported so far. I don't know if there is one, but we'll see. But I think this really is farewell, and I wish him all the best, man. I wish him good luck.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one, isn't it? Unai's come out and said he doesn't think he'll get the development if he was to stay around and get the minutes he requires. So that's why they've allowed him to go. Now the 15 million fee, I think it's respectable fee. Some may disagree, some may want more in that sense. But for Cam, if he's not getting the football, I think he just wants to play and just start games, and it's another crack at another Premier League side, another new promoted side. Even though I think Southampton have a bit more about them than Sheffield United did last season, I think he'll get a lot more opportunities and in a different style of play. But it means the slots available now within the squad, especially in the attacking area. Do you think we go out and get someone else?
Yeah, yeah. I think they've got backups to Felix, and I think they still want to sign Gertrude. I think they're waiting for a bid for Carlos, going off Emery's quotes today. So I think those are two incomings. I think they're waiting for pieces to move before they can go out and attack the market.
Yeah, fair. Just a few comments. Rod said, agree, I believe Unai. Maybe Rodgers to start up top. Yeah, I think he'll be similar to Dortmund. I know Philogene started Dortmund, but I don't think he would. I think Bailey would come back in, but apart from that, it'd be the same side. Mock says, in a crazy way, I'm glad Ollie didn't score 20 last season, and it keeps him hungry. Yeah, I think that kind of weighed on him to get in 20. That's why he didn't get it. I just think that did, and he really wanted to do. When you get to that position where you really want to do something, sometimes you get too carried away or you try too hard, and I think that kind of was the case. So he'll be wanting to go again, and obviously, what is he now? 15 away from Gabby's record. He'll be eyeing that up this season and wanting to smash it. Dave said everyone wants that last minute Duran rocket to seal the deal, and him celebrating in front of their fans wildly. That would be a decent apology. Yeah, he would indeed. Mark said, what do you think of the club shot? From the images and stuff, yeah, we'll get onto that actually. That's a good question. There's a special guest there today as well. Was that who you were expecting, bro?
No, I was expecting João Felix.
Yeah, you did say that last night. You'd had your hopes up for you. Deontay says no penalty. I think West Ham win 2-1 tomorrow. Okay, so I was giving all that positivity, and he was actually thinks West Ham's going to win. So no one's predicted a win for Villa, which is I think that's kind of the consensus. People are a bit apprehensive in regard to their predictions this time round. I don't know if that's a case of just an amalgamation of pre-season and potentially how a record at West Ham plus how we started last season. I don't know, bro. What do you think? Because I've seen that quite a bit, just a draw or a defeat.
For West Ham away?
Mm.
As in what I think the score will be, or just?
No, just a general consensus. Within the chat, a number of draws and then loss have been predicted, and we predicted draws as well. Then what do you think? Is it just a case of the pre-season players, new players, gelling the squad together and our record there?
I think it's a combination of our record there and just the feeling coming off 2024. I think it lags over, man. I think people sometimes think just because it's a new season, like, forget about it, but I don't know. Or maybe it's fans. I don't know if it happens with the players. I'm sure Emery will try and eradicate that and say it's all fresh. But I do think with fans, it does lag over, especially nowadays where it feels like all the seasons just jumble into one. I don't know if you feel the same. But Crystal Palace away felt like yesterday, and like here we are again, just ahead of the new season. So yeah, I think, can we just start nice? Like, how good would it feel just to get a win tomorrow? Like, whichever way,
One thing I will say is we have a bench now where we have options compared to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, we were to the bare bones. A number of academy players on the bench who weren't experienced enough at that point to just be thrown into the deep end. Even in the Conference League games, we saw that as well. Tomorrow, if we look at our bench and we need options, there are plenty of options there to change the game. And when you've got a player like Ian Maatsen, if he doesn't start on the bench, you've got an Enzo Baranachea, you'll have a Jayden Philogene Badash, Emi Buendia. It is healthy in that regard to change a game if it is required, and John Duran as well if he's on the bench. That's some good names to come on and change the game for us. So that's a big positive in terms of the overall squad and the improvement within that. We now have a number of options on the bench, so if we do need a goal or we need to shore it up and play a different style and maybe revert back into a more defensive shape to maintain a lead, we have the options and ability to do that. Rod says, I think 50 million is good business. Love Archer, but he just isn't going to break into the squad, in my humble opinion. Dave said, first game away day never spells good news for Villa, but I think we win 2-1. Watkins with a hero's return and a screamer from Duran to pinch it. Yeah, bro. Final thoughts then before we go. The club store, the new away kit.
Yeah, what do you think of the away kit?
I think, as always, the kit looks better when it has, the players are wearing it. There's better photos, there's clearer detail shown than just some image that's taken on poor quality phone camera from a fair distance away. So it looks better than, obviously, those initial images that came out a few days ago. I just think it's simple. It's in line with a number of kits we've had over the years. I do think back to the LDV Vans one in that white colour. That's a kit I kind of remember. I think there's a number of kits before my time as well where it's kind of similar within that. We had a 32 red one as well, I think, which was similar in terms of the white with the blue collar. It does follow in line with historical away kits that we've had. We've also had white kits with a darker navy as well. I always remember the England with one of the England pins, the Acorns Nike one as well. I think it's a decent kit in that sense. For me, I think maybe a bit more about the kit, but if that's just preference, I think a lot of fans will like the kit just because of its simplicity. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I was looking at the kit earlier and I thought if it did have claret stripes, it would probably look more aesthetically pleasing and correct. But I kind of like the fact they've gone a bit different with the blue stripes and then the claret sponsor. I'm happy the V isn't too far down because I do prefer like a round neck on a top. I just think it looks cleaner and just smarter in general. But I'm glad the V isn't too narrow. Like it's only like a small cut if you see it on the collar. So yeah, that doesn't look as bad as I thought. It's clean, man. It's clean. I don't think it's amazing, but I don't think it's bad. I'd say like 7 out of 10 for an away kit. I think next seasons are going to be the ones where they like dedicate time to really give us like really good kits. I think these ones have admitted were a bit rushed, but the home kit's popular, so yeah, man, I can't wait to see the third kit next.
Yeah. And what did you think to Sharon being down there? I don't think anyone would have predicted that, to be honest.
X Factor in it. That's where your mind goes straight away. Just X Factor, man.
Yeah. Surprised the rest of the gang weren't there, but yeah, again, that is just branding, isn't it? Marketing. That's a name that everyone and a face everyone recognises. So again, that would just push the brand and the name further out. The club shop itself looks unreal from images I've seen. Didn't get the opportunity to go today. Will do over the next week. But yeah, the actual shop itself looks unreal. Even, the flooring, and they've got like the panels over the top of the previous kits and the history looks really
What made me laugh is they have to cover non-Adidas gear. So I think it was a nice touch to put the program and then the sleeve top.
Facts.
Because it looks smart. Better, but it looks better when they get to cover the non-Adidas sponsors as well. Because Adidas is super strict.
Yeah, yeah. That's facts. Never thought it'd be like that. That's a valid point you make there. But yeah, it does suit it. It looks better like that. It kind of fills the area a bit more, and you can relate to what era the kit's from, and see for yourself just in terms of the program as well that it's aligned with. So yeah, full gear's out now. There's some gear. I was aware there's some gear that's actually in the club store that you can't currently get online as well. There's like a patterned Adidas training top. I think I
Yeah,
think
what?
I think Man United had a similar template tonight that they were wearing, just a bit of a different colour. Um, but yeah, that's in the club store, but you can't get it on your line as of yet. So for anyone who is able to get to the club store, I think it'll be a worthwhile trip if you want to see the full range of Villa items. Obviously, not everyone can, but yeah, I think that would be a worthwhile thing, because I think there is a number of items there that may just be um, secluded to the store, and that's it. No, you can't get them anywhere else. But yeah, we'll definitely be making a trip there in it, and getting a few bits and bobs for sure. Still ain't got our home kit yet, bro. So yeah. Uh, Deontay says getting the away kit ready for the away trip to Barcelona in the Champions League. Oh, he's already there. Draw's only a few weeks away now. Deontay with the new kit down La Rambla. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope that is the case as well. Barca would be unreal playing at the new camp. But yeah, bro, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you everyone for joining. If you could like the stream, subscribe if you're new, and comment your score predictions within the chat. That'd be much appreciated. Anything you want to end with, bro? Any final words?
Come on, Villa. Let's go, man. Let's start the season off with a win. I mean, last season we started off with a loss and we were still finished fourth. Like, imagine if we actually start with a win this time. And let's just go into the Arsenal game with 3 points already secured, and we can just breathe a little bit easier going into that game.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks all for joining the Villa, and we'll see you for the match reaction tomorrow.